Hello and welcome to another stream here on Behance and on YouTube. My name is Anna Daviscourt. I am a children's book illustrator, and today I'm going to be painting with gouache and slurring more words together. I'm not gonna lie, I'm tired. My brain is a little fried. It's okay. We're gonna just hang out, have a good time, nice chill stream. You can see I'm on my webcam because I have got my camera on the goods over here, so you'll see that in a second. But real quick, I just want to say gold star to Alessandra, who was first in the chat, saying, "Hey, hola, oi," right away. So good to see you, along with Rynn, Anna Daviscourt, that was me. I'm in my own chat. Kendall, Joe, and Tara. What's up? Tara got to catch us in not replay land today. It's live land, baby. But shout out to all you replay landers who are not watching on February 22nd, 2022. It's 2 day. I should be wearing a tutu in honor, but I believe Kendall posted to the Discord something about a Taco Tuesday, possibly like happy Taco Tuesday. And also took a screenshot at 2:22. So an honorary star for Kendall, I have to say. That is quite the dedication. It's so good to see you guys. It's been a little bit just because of technical difficulties. I got a new wire for my fancy camera and it is back up and running. Thank goodness that was the fix. It was like $9 instead of, if I had to have a port replaced on my camera, I don't know how much that would cost, but probably more. Anyways, let's get into it. I wanted to bring back these sketchbookies. This is, once again, if you haven't seen them, these are handmade by my friend Julia, who sent these along with a plethora of gouaches. I have them over here where you can't see them, but I color coordinated them today. So we've got a nice little rainbow to work with. Looks like we have most of reds and blues, so maybe that could be a fun little color palette that we try out. Speaking of palettes, this is my very cheap looking little plastic one. It's got a mix of gouaches and watercolors that these are, I don't know what brand or whatever they are, but they're not ones that I usually use. This is actually James's old kit. And so it's a mix, but I know where something is. Like if I want gouache, I know exactly which palettes it is. So anyways, what I wanted to do today was, oh, Julia's in the chat. What's up? Oh my gosh, we were just talking about you. So yeah, these are handmade by Julia, and she even painted the inside covers and everything, and she says that this is Mohawk paper. It's been taking the gouache really well and not warping or anything like a ton. It's actually really well. It's handling it well. And you can see it, my usual technique is to put like a sketch down with colored pencil and then use the paint on top of it. Sometimes thinly like watercolor and other times more opaquely like gouache. uh, and it's just been lovely. I want to say hi to Annika as well. I saw you in there. Ha 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 ha. As you usually, I am with Anthony, who's my best friend and also co-host of the streams, but he is working right now, so I am all in my onesies, so I might be a little bit slower getting to chat things. So if you have a question or something and I miss it, then feel free to just re-enter it. And if you really want it answered, the best way to be seen is have like a all caps question and then colon whatever it is, just so I can see it more easily. There you go. Rynn says, ooh, I spy a mandala. This is a carpet, a rug. I haven't even shown this to Patreon yet. I need to get on top of that. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad at spatial distance. Okay, so yes, I've painted, designed, drew a few like rugs that are, yeah, exactly, Joe. It's exclusive, only for your eyes. And I want to do another one today, so I thought that would be a really fun one, just because it's basically just pattern design, but it feels, I don't know, there's something about it that's very satisfying to feel out texturally. Like if you really look up close, you can see all the little marks I made on this one with colored pencil after I painted it. And then you can also see the underdrawing of pencil and everything. So yeah, there's just so much fun to be had. I love art. If you can't tell, big art nerd. So yeah, I use kind of the same color palette for these guys, like a sage green and a really vibrant, rich orange, and some reds and blues thrown in there. But we, like I said, have a lot of blues and reds in the paint spectrum, thanks to Julia. And so maybe we could use that as our inspiration for today's, and then we can just kind of vibe with whatever shapes we like, because that's really the freedom here. There are 5 million gorgeous textile rugs that you can find on places like Pinterest, or I'm sure even there are rug sites, because there's like, they're tied into a lot of cultural things. They're tied into a lot of designy things. Like there are whole art movements that are fabric, or what do they call it? Fiber arts, things like that. So it is definitely an art form in and of itself. And so you could go on a very deep, deep dive. Joe says, I am beside myself today. I love it. I have a dire need to draw rugs today. Please do. Oh my gosh. Okay, so there is a draw along section of our Discord. So if you want to post things that you're doing, please. We love it. I love to see other people's works contemporarily while I'm doing stuff. And Joe also says, you have once again inspired me. What a joy to be alive. Holy crap, Joe. You make it sound so important, and I love that, because I feel the same way. Whenever I'm inspired, I'm like, finally, a breath of air. Oh, so good. Joe says, can I challenge you to a tufted rug? AKA AAA, something more organic. I will draw along. It's also, it absolutely is important. Oh, I'm so glad. So, tufted rug, I'm guessing you're thinking of like the non-square. I've seen a lot of these like happening with I'm sure what we follow as artists, we find a lot of the same kind of inspirational people, and they seem to be really into the hobby of rug making and like, what do you call it? Pole something. I can't remember what it's called. Punch needle rug. Joe, you know. So yeah, something that is free flowing, but also a opportunity to basically draw a picture with a rug, which is very, very cool. I cannot lie, I have been tempted to do that in the past as a hobby. I remember once my sister got a kit for Christmas when we were very young, and that was like a year of our lives, basically. It took so long to make, but it was really, really fun. I'm going to pull out some of my colored pencils, and I also have this. One of my favorites is a red watercolor pencil. This one's a Royal Watercolor Pencil, is apparently the brand. But I am not really sure. So many of my art supplies are just cobbled together from other people's stuff that they've given me, or I've accrued over my many years of life. So it just feels like I don't know what anything is. But if you have a question about it, again, I can do my best to find it. Rynn says, Artoholics and Anonymous. Wow, that was 5 different puns in one, Rynn. Claps for you. Rynn also says, I had a little woven book bank back in the day. I wonder if it's tucked away somewhere. Book bank? What is that? Or book bark. Woven book bark. I need to see a picture if you find this. Oh, rug bookmark. Oh, I see how it is. Okay. So yes, a rug bookmark. That is so cool to have it like a tactile kind of bookmark. That sounds very satisfying. Okay, so I'm going to start with, let me see. I'm not going to start with Joe's challenge yet. It's a little too challenging in my mind. So I'm going to start with just, Okay, I'm thinking of multiple things. One of the ideas I had was like if you did a runner that has pointed ends and then like little tassels at the end. Have you guys ever seen those? Probably. This is what I'm talking about. The littlest sketch, the lightest sketch. Oh, can you even, come on, focus. You can focus. Do you see it? Sorry, I should have like done a big black Sharpie or something. But actually I think I might do tassels. I do like that idea, but I'm going to do them at the corners. Kind of like the magic rug in Aladdin. Carpet, that's his name. Their name. There is no gender for carpets. And then, I really love giving some kind of border like this, and the treatment of the corners for some reason is also very satisfying to me, like having them poke out or poke in somehow. I'm thinking I might do a warbly one, because this one is straight until you get to the curve of the corner, and then this one's just straight up straight and has like a little geometric kind of chunk out. So I'm thinking maybe I could do like a warble. You know how those brackets, when you write them out, are so hard to do, where it's like... Is that even the right way of doing it? I have to look at my keyboard. They were like both my favorite thing to draw whenever writing stuff out, but also my least favorite. I don't know if you guys feel the same. Do you know what I'm talking about? The little brackets that are wiggly? Which is silly. I don't know if that was based in type. Like, hey, some type historians, tell me, is this something that originated? Like, what figures of the keyboard that we are familiar with originated because of keyboards, or were they in existence beforehand and then adapted for keyboards? I am curious. Hi, my name is Curious. Nice to meet you. Okay, so I'm trying to be somewhat symmetrical, but honestly, I don't need it to be. I don't feel like it's super necessary to be completely machine perfect with these things. Not that it's even possible, but because it's traditional art in a sketchbook, it feels very right for just do the thing, man. Just have fun. Don't worry too much about it. At least that's what it's saying to me. All right, I'm gonna do a little... What are these called? Fish shapes. No, teardrops. But like elongated and not down. Does that make sense? Eustace in the chat, what's up? How you doing? Eustace saying, how are you folk? Oh, so good. Just so good. Wait, Joe, Wordly? Wordle-y? I've been loving Wordle, by the way, and Kendall, I blame you for Quirtle. I've been doing that as well, and it is a little addicting. Oops, I didn't mute Discord. Beep. Mute. Sorry if that was loud. Kendall's like, Yusra! Oh, Joe looked it up. Okay, braces, curly brackets, first became part of the character set with the 8-bit code of the IBM 7030 stretch. Duh. How do you not know that? Oh my gosh. In 1961, ASCII, or ASCII, I would say, I don't know, contained parentheses, square, and curly brackets, and also less than and greater than signs that could be used as single angle brackets. Wow. I mean, I took in like maybe 1% of that, but the idea that it was in coding that happened. Okay, now I know that it wasn't like traditional writing where they came up with that. Although I think for the most part, how it was used in my schooling was there was be like lines of text on a paper. So like lines of, oh my gosh, this thing again. Okay. So like lines of text on a paper. Oh, I'm going to try to draw one without looking at the paper. And it would be like, right here. And then they'd write a note for it. Like, all of this, useless. Oh, man. Oh, Rynn says ASCII for ASCII. Oh, well, aren't you clever? It never comes up in my daily dialogue, so gotta say, I've never thought about it. Kendall says, lol, Quirtle is addicted. It really is addictive. It's not addicted. I am to it. Kendall says, that's why I've picked up 3-word strategy and then guesses from there. I totally agree. 3 words is like the best. So we're talking about Wordle. If you aren't a part of that semi-cult at this point, I would say. It is a really fun word game. And then Quirtle is it times 4. So if you've ever played Wordle, just imagine doing 4 of them at the same time, and every guess applies to every word. So it's real fun. It looks daunting at the beginning, but you get right into it, and then you're like, my brain, the power. Okay, I think for this one has like a circle central area. And this one had a diamond. What if we did a square? We could have all the shapes. Ooh, or two. This could be like the time one. It's in control of time. Or is it like Black Widow? I'm not sure. But I like it. I like the idea. Well, thank you. You're welcome. Oh. And then we could do like little separated ones over here. This kind of reminds me of my blanket over there. It's a Pendleton one. And for Pendleton, it seems like they take inspiration from some kind of like geometric designs. I'm not sure of what culture that comes from. I believe it's a company kind of, I would say Southwestern style. But again, I am not familiar with a lot of the shape languages and stuff. But that is something that, I don't know, it just feeds my brain. So I know that the sketches are very light, but I want you to see it so that you can kind of understand what I'm doing. So, oh golly. Okay, there we go. Woo, you can see it. Kind of Black Widowy, kind of not. It's interesting that we have such harsh shapes here and then such like wavy loopies out there. So maybe I'll find a way to marry those together. Like up here we can have more triangles. And then, or as I like to call them, trongles. Trongle, trongle, little fishy in the sea. Silly little fishy, you come home to me. Y'all seen Ponyo lately? Is good. What do I want to do? Oh, I want to, okay. I know what I want to do. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. Okay, I'm going to do a loopy whoop. Loopy whoop. Loopy whoop. Loopy whoop. Sorry, I keep hitting the mic with my pencil. This is optimal setup for art. Hey. Okay, and then, let's see. Do I like that? Do I like it? That is the question. Maybe I do that. Sure. These are like half domes, but like cut in half. Domes cut in half. Does that make sense? Beep, beep. Instead of just triangles. And then... not sure exactly what I want to do here, but I do love the botanical vibes that the other ones have, so I might just throw a little ferny because I enjoy that. This is kind of reminding me, okay, hold on for this wild ride. When I was a kid, we had wooden blocks that weren't like the building blocks, they were like the shape ones. Do you remember those? They were all different colors where it's like, oh, here's a white diamond that's really narrow, and then there was a blue diamond that was fatter, and then there was like a yellow octagon or something like that. Pentagram. What do you call it? Pentagon. Boom, nailed it. Anyways, so basically a parent would just like put them on a table and say go to town, and then a kid would just like make patterns. I loved them. That was my brain food. That was one of my favorite things. Like other kids would play with Legos and stuff, and I was into Legos, but this was so much more satisfying. I think mostly there are sensory things about it. They were made of wood, and whenever they like clicked together, it was like a little you know what I mean? Anybody else have those? Shout out in the chat. Oh, Julia is posting about Pendleton. What's up? Saying blanket stories told on hashtags and on website credit the inspirations and traditions behind the patterns. Oh, awesome! So there's like a ton of information about Pendleton patterns and shapes. I love that. Pattern origins. Oh my gosh. Pendleton supports the Indians and Crafts Act, Indian Arts and Crafts Act of 1990. 1990? Wow, that was not that long ago. We make our blankets for Native Americans, but we don't claim our products are made by them. Our company's history is always part of our marketing and sales materials. It's available on our website. Interesting. Okay, sorry if I read that horribly. You should check out the website. Sometimes I skip words when I read and stuff like that, and then I'm like, they're talking about important things. I don't want to skip words. Oh, man. Oh, hey, John Nix is in the chat. Hello, John. Saying something good to have play on in the background. Oh, wait, here, I think I missed something. John says, oh my gosh, I've missed so many things. So many things. Okay, sorry everybody, I'm catching up. I used to have a Wacom IG Pro drawing tablet for years. And one thing I never got used to is not looking where I'm drawing. I totally understand that. Although I do think that after about 2 weeks, my brain can connect with whatever I'm using. It took about 2 weeks for the Cintiq after using a tablet. But I could totally understand. Everybody has a different journey with that. Joe says, sorry, not sorry. I am learning all about brackets now. I mean, we're learning about the history of Pendleton. We're learning about brackets. There's just so much stuff. So much stuff. Joe says, I guess we are learning about textile patterns today, and I am here for it. I wonder if there are unique Swedish ones. I bet you there is. I think that fiber arts are something that are usually pretty deeply cultural. And so having some kind of history literally woven into the tapestries. Amazing. Oh, I love it so much. I actually just watched a video, which was kind of interesting. This just brought it to mind. That was about somebody looking into their family ancestral history, and they don't look like their ancestors. And I have had this kind of feeling as well, where I'm like, I look white, you know, I'm just a white lady, but I also want to, whatever ancestral history or tradition that I can keep living on through me would be really cool, right? I think we can all agree on that. But the idea of appropriation is very significant as well, and I have never really I learned some things from my parents, but they were not especially connected to their ancestral history as well. But we have some Native American history, specifically I always knew it as Aleut, Native Americans up in Alaska, but I just learned, because this video that I watched put me on this whole path of looking into, wait, there is that thing in my family, and I could look into it. Apparently, the name Aleut is from the Russian people naming the natives, and the natives are actually named something else, which I am totally blanking on because it's not a part of my vernacular that I just learned, and I hate when I can't remember stuff. But anyways, there is a different name for it, and I want to learn more about that, just the history in there. And hopefully someday go to Alaska and actually see this place, because is beautiful in pictures. My goodness. The islands out there are just they remind me of Scottish Isles a bit in the cliff sides. It's grass plainy and then just sheer cliffs, which is really cool looking. Very, kind of reminds me of in the newer Star Wars, you know? Can't remember the name of it. It was the second one in the newest trilogy. There's an island. I don't want to give any spoilers, but it's beautiful. If you know, you know. Oh, man. Let's see. Oh, John accidentally tagged Annika. Yeah, it's totally fine. John was asking, do you prefer to draw the pattern, or would you rather, say, do etching of, say, old headstones? What? Old headstones, man. I've never really done etchings except for when we're in, I don't know, second grade or something, and they taught us how to do etchings, which is if you don't know, kind of you remember in Indiana Jones movie where, it's Raiders, no, not Raiders. Ooh. The one, my favorite one. Come on. I keep thinking Judgment Day, which is the second Terminator movie, which is not the name of the Indiana Jones movie. It is, hey James, what's our favorite Indiana Jones movie? Last Crusade. Boom, nailed it. Okay, thank you. The Last Crusade. So in that, there is a headstone, which is so perfect. Yeah, Ray, what's up? Saying Last Crusade? Yes. Okay, so Last Crusade. Indy has part of a map that was etched onto a headstone, embossed. And so he has to go get the rest of it, and he gets a piece of paper out, and he finds the original headstone, and then takes like a piece of pastel, crayon, charcoal, something like that that's like loosey-goosey, and then rubs it over the paper on top of the thing, and that's the rubbing kind of thing. Anyways, that's what I'm thinking of for etchings, I guess. Am I thinking of the right thing? Today, my brain is all over the place. Okay, I want to also add some stuff inside of the... Whoa, I just marked the paper with the end of this. That's interesting. Are you made of pigment? What? Okay, so I'm going to start painting just to get stuff on here. I think as a base, I would like to use maybe a pinky red, because I've got some white and some red right here. Okay, so we've got this red. Red is so powerful. In whatever form of paint, I swear, it is the most powerful paint. So it will easily overwhelm whatever you're mixing it with if you're not careful. I actually have some right here. So we've got some white, we've got some red, pink. Also with gouache, I have to say you gotta be careful to remember that it will dry darker and usually just dry differently. So honestly, it's one of the main purposes for this sketchbook is just to understand how it works. And so I think, what was I saying? So I think laying down the paint without expectation of what color will come out, or like, oh, it doesn't look exactly how I wanted it to, is part of the process. You're kind of just learning, well, if I want it to look that way, I have to figure that out. Like, how do I make it look that way? So, painting without expectation. Lesson number 1. And I'm just putting down a wash, again, because of experimentation. If I want to do this piece again without doing this pink wash, then I'll just do it again. I ain't got no problem with that. Hey, Wade is streaming right now. Go say hi to Wade. Go to Club Wade and say hello. Wade has expressed some interest in doing a gouache stream, so we should gouache it together. Let us do that. Beep, 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 beep. Okay, it dried pretty quickly, so you can see a lot of mark making in here. I'm not against that. I am of different mind with watercolor. Usually I am kind of annoyed with that, but I feel like, I don't know, something about gouache makes me just embrace texture and nuance. And as I said before, it's not super important. Oh my gosh, it almost completely got rid of the sketch, which is totally fine, but it's just funny. You know, spend your time on the sketch and then cover it. Cover girl. Okay. I don't want a huge blank spot, so that's why I'm going in there with some more pigment and just zhuzhing a little bit. But after that, I'm just gonna let it dry as it will. Ooh, look at that. Oh, weird. Did something happen? Okay, so it looks like I disconnected on Behance, but I am fine on YouTube. So what I'm gonna do is just start a new Behance stream. So if you're on YouTube, hey, what's up? Okay, so live stream. Oh, am I back? This is weird. I don't even know what's going on. I guess I'm back. Hello? That was really weird. Anyways, I am painting with gouache if you're new here. I don't know if the thing... Hey, Euster's in the chat saying hi! I think what happened is we glitched out somehow. But that's okay, right? Euster's like, what happened? I have no idea. Honestly, truly, I guess you guys got kicked because it definitely went down to like 0 people. But then on my end, it looked like everything was working. So I don't know. That was really weird. Jacqueline in the chat saying, hey, hello. How you doing? You having a good day? I guess I'll post this link to the Discord just in case people want to find me again pretty easily. No repeat. No repeat. Beep. 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 Thank you, Joe, for also posting. You're amazing. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Jacqueline saying, yes, having a good day. Oh, that's excellent. I love to hear it. Yeah, happy Tuesday, everybody. What are you guys up to? Tell me everything. I know that Joe is deeply researching basically everything that is interesting. That's interesting. And now this is, and now this is. Okay, I'm going to start another one over here because this is the essence of this kind of thing. I don't like to wait for paint to dry. I just like to keep drawing. So, beep, bop, boop. One of these days, maybe I'll have like a rug that's slightly lifted and then like a cat's head poking out underneath it or something. How cute would that be? We could also do an oval kind of rug. Actually, I kind of want to do like just a inner oval. You know, when you have an innie or an outie, it's got an inner oval. That made sense, right? You guys can see how well I draw circles. It's not necessarily about drawing ability. It's about design ability. I think I'll do some more leafy bits around here, alternating. Maybe not alternating. What kind of things do I want in here? Maybe, ooh, longer leaves. Yeah, I haven't done long leaves in a while. Kind of wreathy. Get an Aretha Franklin going in here. And then, let's see, what kind of... This is a big sound effects stream. Gotta have it. Gotta have my pops. I kind of want this to be gold for some reason. They're just calling out, I love gold! Boom! Hey, Kendall's back. Woohoo! Okay, we're populating. We're populating. Joe says, now this is a book I also just finished. Also the book I just finished. The Secret Lives of Color! Yes. Love that book. Love, love, love. Oh, I'm so glad. How was it? I mean, it's not necessarily, like, linear, so I know, but also, I hope you liked it. Oh, man. Let's see. Jacqueline says, making art for spring t-shirts. Oh my gosh, awesome. What's going to be on them? Are you having fun just figuring it out? Rynn says, welcome back. Oh gosh, and back. Had to feed the fur children and came back to darkness. 'Twas frightening. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to put you in darkness. Oh man. Joe says, yes, alchemy vibes for sure. Sorcery x alchemy? Yes, I love. I was fascinated. It so does. I'm there with you. And now I get giddy every time I see a film/game, etc. reference how colors came into being because I know now exactly. It's history. It's just like knowing more of history makes you just feel empowered and a little bit more like, oh, I kind of understand more about this place. This place I was thrown into with no prior knowledge. Rude. Just implying some foliage here. Beautiful. Oh. I just had a brainwave. Should I execute that or should I do something easier? What else could be easier? I mean, flowers are always a pretty easy, simple thing. I was thinking of a top-down view of a little baby rabbits. Have you ever seen them when they're like in the there's like a hole in the ground where they're all kind of just like warm and they all lay together in just like a little knot. I don't know how to describe that, but it would be pretty difficult to execute on this scale, especially. I want to do some kind of fun fringe over here too. Maybe just, yeah, I'll just do like blobbles. Blobbles. It's not like falafel. It's like blobbles. Oh, maybe I'll do double fringe. Would that be madness? Nothing's mad here. Now it looks like a stamp. I am not against it. Who here would like to design a stamp sometime? I think that'd be fun. Just fine and dandy. Do little circles here. Maybe like a... I already did kind of like a star in the center, so I'm thinking of something that is radial, like a mandala kind of feel. Just feeling it out, seeing if I like anything. Is that weird? Kind of makes me think of a squirrel tail, probably because I just painted a squirrel tail today. Doing a lot of painting for books right now, not a lot for myself, and so it feels like I don't know, I'm both starved and... Wait, what would this analogy be? I have no water and I'm really thirsty, but I'm also overhydrated at the same time, and I'm like, ugh. It's like my mouth is thirsty, my stomach is full of water. Yeah? Does that make sense? I don't know. I make a lot of art, but it's not necessarily stuff that feeds my soul. Sure, let's just go with this for now. We can always change it later. And for the base of this one, I might just mix up this. I know I keep going back to this color palette, but there's some yellow, it has a little green on it, just ignore that, and orange, and this mixture just makes me happy a lot of the time. Every artist goes through phases of different colors, and that's fine. We embrace it. I mean, how can you not love that color? Look at that. Oh, so pretty. Glorious, glorious color. Can you tell me the history of mustard yellow? Or would this be goldenrod? Joe, tell me. That's another thing about that book that I love. I think the rereadability is pretty dang high, because I don't remember 90% of what the history of different colors is, so. Oh my gosh. Microphone, you're in my way. Rude. Oh, this is another thing. When you're painting a wash of something and it's a color that's actually a mixture of two different colors, you get this natural kind of variation as you mix the colors to make more, to fill in more of the space. Oh, so pretty. Whoops, just hit the page. Oh, here. What? Rynn says you can make custom brushes that act as stamps in Photoshop as well, using photo texture capture, Adobe Capture, but I'm sure there are other ways to go about digital stamps as well, of course. Oh, absolutely. I'm guessing this is a question earlier that you have answered. Oh, yes. Joe says, I would like to design a stamp. Then do it. Do it. I just want you, like, everybody to get paid for designing stamps for whatever country. Rynn says, oh no, Anna. Quench your soul's thirst. I am right now. This is quenching. This is definitely quenching. The quenchiest. Oh, so good. I don't have any blue out yet. Let's get some blue. Okay, I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Would you like cobalt blue or Prussian blue? Come on, you can do it. There we go. Oh my gosh, why am I so backwards? Okay, so cobalt blue, Prussian blue. Prussian blue definitely has more of like a yellow vibe, kind of like a dark green blue. And then cobalt blue is very, very blue, 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 blue. We got 2 votes for Prussian from Julia and Rynn. All right, Prussian. Anybody else feeling stuff? Let me know now. I need your votes. I need them good. I'm going back to YouTube to see if anybody's commented on it. Nope. All good. All right, Prussian it is. Y'all win. Let's do this. All right, I need to pick a place to put this blue. Kind of okay, yeah, we'll do there. Oh, this is a handy tip also if you have some old Tara says, did you use cobalt on the pattern? And I wrote Prussian too. Well, where did it show up? Come on. I have not used cobalt yet at all. I don't think I've opened any of these blues. If you have old paints, by the way, having some, what do you call these, like pliers on hand to just grip for you will save so much paint in your hands. Trust me. These little, oh, it's got little dried bits coming off. The little indents on the side of the lid will murder you. Okay, there we go. Even just having a paper towel between you and it will tear up that paper towel though, just letting you know. And a little goes a long way usually with these guys, so that's good. You want to have paint around for a long, long time. So this is how it looks on the palette. There, it's that very dark spot. That's the blue. So I'm gonna do, actually I can show you a little bit of it mixing with the water. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to stand up for this one. There we go. So that's what it looks like. Oh, so pretty. Yeah, that's like a deep ocean color. I love it. Seeing how it mixes with this pinky red situation will be interesting. We'll see. Sorry, I got those crummy crumbs on there. Oh, it's sticking to wet paint. Okay. Didn't get on there. It's all good. Rynn says in elderly lady voice, one of these days. Sure. Having not opened the cobalt makes me want to recant my Prussian vote so that it can see some use. Oh, you're saying has the cobalt ever been opened? It looks pretty fresh. No, there's a tiny, tiny bit of pigment underneath the lid, so I think it's been used at least once. Actually, there are 2 cobalts here, so this one's definitely been used. I think this one's been used. Move it. But don't worry, we will use all of them eventually, okay? It's just one at a time, one at a time. Oh, things are happening. I just painted my water thing. All right, so this is kind of my test strip as well. I just want to see, wow. Oh, it's because I had gold still in the brush a little bit, but it got really green the more I painted, which is funny. All right, so I think with the sketch of this one, we did some waviness around the corners. So I think I'll do that whole area with blue. Let's see what that looks like. Again, there is no right or wrong in this, so it's really not important at all to hesitate, even a little bit. Just go for it. Ooh. Also, this is kind of a thin layer. It's not super opaque or anything, so just fly in my face. What the heck? Just keep that in mind that like it's not necessarily fully opaque. I could make it opaque easily, so we have that ability later on if we want to. Just trying it out right now. Ooh. Okay, one of my favorite things is happening right along this edge. There's a bright pink that's staying on that edge. I love that. A little more blue. It's a very powerful blue for sure. Okay. There she blows. A little bit more water to kind of work that together. A little tiny bit more blue. We could do these bumpies on the bottom. Bump it louder. Beep. Nice. Nicely done. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, this is a very different vibe than the other ones, which I really enjoy. Whoa. See, this is more opaque. which is totally cool too. It's kind of like that natural variation of mixing colors and laying them down. If you naturally just get a little bit more of the hue on the brush, it adds variation to the piece, and it's not a bad thing at all. I think it's actually kind of why we love traditional artwork, is those kind of bits. Don't want perfection here. Okay, so we've got our dark areas, but they're not super dark. We could go darker for sure. We could have even more pure Prussian blue on here, and that could be a really fun way to make like little pattern bits that stand out. I'm gonna read the chat for a second. Oh, Julia says that she used the cobalt for the covers. So if you guys want to see a real life use of the paint, look at that. So cool. Literally, because it's blue. I love that blue. It is so beautiful. And with the white, it reminds me of like those really detailed fine Chinese porcelain vases, if you've seen those, that have just really beautiful blue details on white porcelain. So gorgeous. Taylor Ackerman in the chat. What's up, Taylor? How are you? Saying gouache is water soluble, so you can just wash it in the sink. It's the best. Let's see. Rynn says, I have not painted much with fancy paints, but I'd like to experiment more someday. What do you use to clean your brushes when gouaching? Yeah, it's just water. And Rynn says, was this still gouache or watercolor? This is gouache. When it has more water in it, like mixed in, it becomes transparent just like watercolor. So it's basically the same thing, but with the ability to go more opaque if you use more of the pigment on the brush, which is really cool, in my opinion. I like it. Joe says, Prussian blue and vermilion is the dream color duo. I don't make the rules. I also have vermilion, I think. Wait, let's see. Lizard and crimson, not vermilion. Yeah, I don't think there is vermilion, but there is this one I have never heard of. Quinacridone rose? Is that what it is? I am not sure. I have never heard it, and I've never seen it, but I love it. So, and we also have, yeah, I have also never heard of this one. Pyrrol Red. Pyrrol Red. Pyrrol. I don't know if I'm saying those correctly, so sorry. Let's see here. Yeah, and Rynn says, nice, thank you. Absolutely. This is one of the reasons that I love gouache, is just the ease of use. When it dries out, it doesn't cure, so you can always re-up it. It can go opaque, so you can even cover things if you want a little bit more, editability, which is very important to me. It also lays kind of like watercolor, which I love watercolor. And then the water solubility. Yeah, it is just easy compared to so many other mediums. And I think that's why it's a favorite of a lot of artists. Okay, I'm going in with the blue. I might mix it with some red and see what we get. Let's do that. Alright, so I'm going to pull some of this blue over here. Y'all can see. And then you remember how powerful that red is. So let's see with the power of the Prussian. Can it stand up? Can it? Wow, it goes to almost black. It's so dark. Which makes me curious if we add some white. Alright, I'm going to just pop a little bit over here. Here's our white. That's been previously mixed with the red. Okay, then it becomes like a gray, like a blue gray. Does that make sense? I've been all over this palette. I hope I brought you on that journey with me. Let's use a little bit more red in there and see if we can get like a... It's interesting. It doesn't go to purple very much. It either leans red or it leans blue. I guess that's the in-between. The truest in-between I can get is like a mauve gray. Very interesting. Let's use some mauve. Oh, since we kind of lost our sketch on here, I'm just going to freewheel it and just do whatever I want. Which is also a really fun way to just do these designs. I think I'll do... Oh, this reminds me of... Do you guys remember in Spirited Away? They're the little paper guys that come after Haku. This is kind of the shape of them. Also, if you haven't seen Spirited Away, get on it. It's the best movie you'll ever see. Not even joking. A very interesting rug. This one's so much more moody than I thought it would be. It almost looks violent. Maybe this is a vampire's rug. You know, vampires have very well designed homes. Just saying. Rynn says 10 minutes sold monkey paws. Thank you. Julia says, Kina Crydone, if I'm saying that the correct way, rose is like alizarin crimson. Oh, interesting. So very similar reds. And also, I see one of our key colors that stands out as different from the rest is this cadmium orange, which I had never heard of either. I've heard of cadmium red. And Joe knows because of the the colors book, but a lot of the like cadmium and things like that, poisonous, very poisonous. At least in their advent. I'm not sure what a lot of modern paints are made out of, if they are quite as dangerous as those predecessors, but just be careful. Don't ingest this stuff. And whenever I get it on my hands, I wash it off, you know, just basic stuff. But yeah, hearing how the first kind of things were created, like titanium white, they did, if I'm remembering correctly, so don't quote me on this, look at the history or The Secret Life of Colors if you want the real story. But based on memory, I think it was something like they put a piece of metal into a bath of vinegar in a shed that was vinegar, or I think it was pee or something like that in the really olden days. And then they put it in a hole out in a shed where nobody would go. They'd keep the shed completely like closed off from everybody else. But once they put it in the hole, I think they covered it with like fecal matter or something like that. It was like creating poison. And so they left it for like a month. And then when they dug out the metal, it would have these really white, it was like a white buildup on the outside of the metal. And then they would flake that off, and that's what became titanium white. Is that? What? It was so weird. Oh, just the processes, man. And what the lengths that people go to get the pigment. There was also something, I think it was like feeding mango leaves to a specific creature for like, I don't know, a certain amount of time made their pee a certain color, and then they distilled that down into a pigment as well. Weird as all get out. Would not assume that. But hey, history's weird. The world is weird. Whoop. Just gonna do little dotty dots. Dotty 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 da. Dee dotty dotty da. I think I want to go in with red now. Ooh, I love... If I could get you a close-up of the plume of color going into the water, I would. If I got like 10 more really nice cameras. Okay, gonna go in with some red, and let's see here. I think I want to do... Oof, that is such a hot red. Love it. I'm gonna do like a central shape, and then we can fill in around it. This is also such a glorious thing to be able to keep painting on one piece without having to wait for layers and layers to dry. That's another advantage, I think, of gouache over watercolor, is just the ability to keep going. Maybe it's more my style of painting, where I'm painting like little bits rather than big washes. But yeah, I feel like it takes less time to dry. Maybe it's also the paper. I guess the paper has probably the most to do with it. Beep, up. It's kind of like it's being pulled to the corners like that. Oh, and also because it is water soluble, it feels like you can kind of lift it off the paper a little bit with some water and some zhuzhing. So if you work your brush over a spot, it might not stay exactly the same way. So there's power in that, but there's also drawbacks. So you just have to be aware of what you're doing and what power your brush holds. The power! Because you could lift things that you want to lift, but then you could also lift things you don't want to lift, and then you're like, darn it. In which case, I believe, I am not an expert in this, but I believe that if you use ink as like a base layer to paintings, that it won't lift off the paper. Maybe it's only certain kinds of inks or certain kind of paper, I'm not sure. I haven't really looked into it, but if you know, share. Tara says, typo, it's an opaque watercolor. Yes, it is. It's awesome. And Julia says, permanent ink. Okay, so there's different types. Permanent. Permanente. Thrive. I do red tassels as well. You guys can see, right? Keep forgetting I'm streaming. This is exactly what I do all day. Just talk to myself and paint. Beep, bop, boop. Beep. Now that's festive. I don't know about you, but that is festive. Heck yeah. I love a good tassel. I hate this microphone. It is hitting my brush is hitting it every 2 seconds, so I apologize if that's like a horrible noise on your end. I'll try to stop. But I just keep coming back. Oh yeah. So did anybody do anything fun over the weekend? I'm struggling to remember what I did. As usual. I remember playing Breath of the Wild with James. That was quite a lot of fun. Always is. We have a good time. I cannot wait for Breath of the Wild 2. And I can't overstate how ready I am for it. It's so good. It's so good. Beep. Because it is the month of love. Oh my gosh. I'm going insane. Microphone. Why? Tell me why. Maybe this just means I need to find a new place to adjust it in these traditional streams. I'm going to do one over here. I actually hid some hearts in the previous ones as well. This guy. If you look in the negative space right there, you can see a little heart. Oh my gosh, guys, what? User says, I have a weird story about burnt umber. They used ground up remains of actual mummies. Ugh, I don't remember when, but I was shocked to know that they dared to do this. Actual people's corpses. Yes, it is beyond disgusting. I really don't like that is a history for anything, but yes, they definitely made paints out of corpses, as well as there was a lot of belief that it could do something for you medically, and unfortunately, yeah, people ingested it as well, which is just so not cool. But yeah, that is kind of the weirdness of the history of colors, is wherever the pigments can be found, they will find them. Like, people have tried everything to make a pigment, I swear. Ooh, Kendall says, very different subject. I went for a late Lunar New Year dim sum lunch last weekend. It was very tasty. That sounds amazing. I want dim sum now. Oh, that reminds me when we had the best dim sum I've ever had in San Francisco, and it makes me wanna travel and eat food. That's all I can say. I want to go to all the places and eat all the dim sum. User's like, oh my, ingest it? Oh yeah, that's... That's what they did. Julia says, can you do a dim sum painting and eating stream? Oh my gosh. I'll get into the mukbang. I mean, nothing's stopping me. I would very much love some dim sum. Oh, but you know what? This is totally off topic, but I guess it's on the topic of food. James and I were going to get a pie from Baker and Spice, which is my favorite place to get baked goods in Oregon, basically. It's so good. And it unfortunately is not open on Monday or Tuesday, and we missed our window to get it on the weekend, so we're waiting again for the later days of the week. And then, you know, it's gonna go down. Let's go back to that Prussian blue and get some really saturated blue in here. Let's do a line, an outliner on this guy. Gotta love those satisfying lines when they come out like that. More. Okay. I love painting. There's something so peaceful about making lines. Just gliding your paintbrush across the paper. I think I'll also add that darker line along this edge as well. If we can make it pop. Oh my gosh. I almost painted everything. Yes, very saturated. Good. I also, by the way, do a second layer once all the paint's done with colored pencil usually. And sometimes I even bounce back and forth between colored pencil and paint. Just depends on the piece. I do a little edge here like they tied it off. It's funny, but all the points and curves on this one make me think of a stretched kind of form, like it's a bear skin or something that's been stretched out. Just a little morbid, but you know, it's what came to mind. Oh, it's monkey paws time. Oh, right. So it is monkey paws. If you are new here, this is a moment for you to pay attention to your body and make sure to stretch and drink water. I'm going to guide us in a little wrist stretching because we are using our hands. Oof. So first step is to put our hands straight out in front of ourselves, fingers to the sky, palms away from us, and curl your fingers into what we call a monkey paw. Good job. And second pose, we're going to put our fingers to the ground, palms towards ourselves, and then curl our fingers in. Good job. Usually Anthony says and I tell him good job, so you're Anthony today. Third pose, we flip our hands out, palms away, fingers down, curl our fingers in. And fourth pose, we put our fingers to the sky, palms towards ourselves, and curl them in. Good job. You're doing great, sweetie. Then we just repeat these poses, holding for about a second each, around 10 times, so that we get a nice stretch in our wrists, in our tendons. And we remember to maybe close our eyes if we're looking at screens. Give yourself at least I think 20 seconds. It's usually the normal thing. And also drink water. I definitely need to because I talk a lot and dries out the mouth, baby. Oh, I can't see the chat. There we go. Rynn says, hourly reminder to sip, stretch, and auto-save if you are working digitally. Absolutely. Remember to save your work. And maybe if it's something that's really important, like client work, save a duplicate just every once in a while. Anthony Jackson in the chat. What's up, Anthony? Says, working hard, Yusra. Thank you for asking. What you working hard on? Is it an art thing or is it a different thing? What you doing? Rynn says, be sure to join us on Discord for shenanigans, upcoming schedules, stretch resources, and more. more. Thank you so much, Rynn. Rynn and Kendall and Joe are all these lovely mods that we have here today. Thank you so much to them. Claps for mods. Claps for mods. And remember that there are a multitude of different stretches that you can do for your wrists. It's just this is one of them that we have come up with. It's adapted from Olivia Wen's stretch recommendations that she once upon a time drew. And yeah, so if it hurts you in any way, stop immediately, ice your hands, rest them, and also look up different ways that you can get your stretches in. Just remember to take care of yourself. This is the reminder to do so. And also, good job. You're doing great. I hope that your life is doing good for you as well. Alright, so once we're done, we're going to gently shake out our hands so that we can loosen them back up for what's to come. And then I like to do some shoulder rolls to loosen those up, and then do some neck stretches. So we put our ear as high as we can on each side, and then flop to the other. Listen to the clouds. What are they saying? I want to rain on them. And then we look from side to side as far as is comfortable. Woo! And maybe move our legs a little bit. Oh my gosh, and stretch our back. Wow, that popped a million times. All right, time for water. Woo! Chug-a-lug-lug. Sorry if I just like swallowed into the microphone. All right, let's go back to painting. Yay, painting! I love painting. Okay, I kind of want to take a break from this one just for a second so that we can get to this one and have two simultaneous. Okay. I think I want some reds in here as well. I'm just gonna grab a dab. And maybe this will be the edge, but we will avoid these little areas that we've designed into it. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but we've got little marks that I'm just kind of try to avoid. And giving a generous berth to what you're avoiding is totally fine. Like, you can always paint down, but it's, you know, it's harder to bring back that color once it's covered. Not impossible. I'm sure it is possible, especially with gouache being opaque and everything, but just to make our lives easier. Beep. Okay. Yes, good. I don't know what these shapes are, but for some reason they remind me of like snakes. Which I love snakes. I love all animals. We've been listening to a channel called Animal Logic on YouTube, and there was a video where they went to, I believe it was Alaska. No, maybe it was part of Canada. And saw some polar bears. That was pretty dang cool. I love when, especially YouTube shows, but shows in general, go on like a trip. Like, you always see them in the same place, but then one day they're just out there. Especially an animal show, because it feels like so much more personal when you get to actually see the animals instead of just footage. Very cool. They were just talking about, I am not going to remember the name of this creature, but their casual name, not their scientific one, is, I think it was deer mouse, because they look like a mixture between a deer and a mouse. Who would have thunk it? And it was so crazy to learn about them. They are just weird little creatures. Some of the varieties are omnivorous, which is so weird to think of, like, oh, a mouse, a deer, definitely herbivores, right? Well, these ones will kind of scavenge and just pick up what they can, which is fascinating because they look like, but they are not, I don't think they were necessarily related to deer or mouse. I can't remember if they said they were part of the rodent family. I don't think so, because they're like, it was during a certain era of, I want to say like Mesozoic or something, but I'm probably wrong about that. Anyways, they were saying that it was the time where mammals were popping off. Like, everybody was adapting new things and such. Saber-toothed tigers and mammoths were happening during that time. We're happening. We're alive, you know. You know what I mean. Anyways, that's when this kind of creature came about. Very cool looking. They also have little vampire teeth. Forgot to mention that little part of them. They're so weird looking, but also cute. But also just little, like, I don't know. They kind of look akin to boars in certain ways. Like when you see those little baby boars, baby boar. They just look kind of round like that in their body, but then their little stick legs are so tiny and spindly. It's just kind of fascinating. All right, so some of these areas are very uneven in opacity, so I'm just kind of dragging them out to join up. And I'm sure there's better ways to do this. I just am not necessarily an expert at gouache painting. And that's kind of the point, is I don't think you should have to be an expert in something to start doing it, because nobody would ever be an expert again. Because we never start. There goes a loud car. Choo choo. Okay. Let's see. Julia says, I think I need a boar, deer, mouse, omnivore sticker. I like it. Oh my gosh, you found it, Rynn. It's a chevrotane. It's mayhaps the chevrotane? Yes. Yes, it is. You're amazing. Your brain is, like, gigantic. Let's see. Anthony Jackson says, a deer mouse sounds like it needs to be brought into the Avatar universe. It's just a bear. What do you mean it's just a bear? It's not like a beaver bear? No, it's just a bear. Rynn says, is it mayhaps the chevrotane? Yes, it is. Okay, good. Well, then we're going to have to make a sticker of a boar, deer, mouse, omnivore. I am all the things and none of them. I'm going to dip into our green way over here. It's called sap green. That's beautiful. I love it. I'm just going to start doing these long leaves, baby. It's been a long leaf since I've seen your shining face. And I still don't know if I'm going to keep the center bit. I feel not in love. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. There's a certain power, I think, in just using straight up from the tube colors, like not mixing it at all. Something about that just makes me feel so fast. It's like you've been running with the like weights on your ankles for years and years, and then suddenly you take them off and you're like, yes, I don't need to spend time mixing. I'm powerful. But then again, you're humbled once you need a color, a specific color. And back to mixing we go. Although I did just do a traditional piece not too long ago. This was just for a friend, so I'm not going to show it or anything. But it is, whatchamacallit, just full of foliage. And I had so much fun having about 3 colors that I just mixed in different ways and getting a whole plethora of different combinations like that. It was wonderful. Ooh, I want some loose leaves in here. Loose leaf. Just like the tea, it's loose leaf. Yeah, I like that. For some reason, this is screaming Christmas now. For some reason, I say. It's a wreath, and it's red and green and gold. But still, shh, it's our little secret. Adam Glazer's in the chat. What's up, Adam? How you doing today? Saying And hi guys, paint looks good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sometimes I forget that I'm painting in front of people, so gotta remember that I'm in frame. Beep. Yeah, we are painting little rugs today, little textiles, carpets, whatever you call it, and just having a ball. I'm gonna be doing some colored pencil on top of these guys to add some texture. If you want a little sneak peek, like this. There's the rug. And I think that the more, it's kind of like pattern making in general, the more you do it, the better you get at it. So hopefully I'm kind of, I don't know, osmosising some knowledge out of this process. I always wonder if I can trust myself with that. Do you ever think about that? Where it's like, are you studying cognitively, like you're aware of what you're learning? Or are you just studying with like the hopes that if you do a thing, you'll learn from it? Whenever I just hope that I learn, I wonder if I'm actually learning. But that's the kind of silly fears. Oh, I'm not actually learning things. Sure you are. And even if the beautiful part of painting is even if you're not necessarily learning something, hopefully you're having a good old time, right? I know I am. That's the attitude you have to go in with traditional things, is like, even if it's not beautiful like you imagined it at the end, you gotta have at least had a good time, or else you're just gonna be sad. So I always have a good time. I choose to have a good time. Ha ha ha. Laughter. Enjoyment. Yeah, that's good. I like that. This one's so joyful. This one's a little... But you know what we can do. Everything. Let's do some Prussian on top of this darker red area in the middle. Do... what do I want to do? Some contrasting shapes. Sure. Something like that. Oh, let's see. Sorry, I'm missing out on the chat, so I have to reread. Julia says, I need Anna's beep sound effect as my text notification sound. Beep. Yeah, I'm gonna have to charge you like $70 now. I saw a post the other day on Twitter that was like, what was it? I'm gonna try to quote it exactly, but I know I'm gonna fail. So they said, remember the days when we used to pay for different alert sounds, and now these days if my phone makes a sound, I throw it across the room or something like that. I'm like, oh, it's such a different time. There was also a post that somebody put up. They were like tweeting out, hey, everybody who grew up in the 80s and 90s, post about the old days of the internet so that new kids know what they were missing out on. And so I just saw a bunch of people reliving the good old days, or the bad old days, depending on what you think. Dial-up modem, yay, nay. Pretty sure that one's a nay for everyone. I remember many a time my mother being on a phone call and being like, oh, I really want to go online, but I can't kick her off. Ooh. Wow. Yeah, I'm going to use this as like a motif. That was another, I'm just going to talk about all the things Anna's seen on the internet lately. Ahem. Another post I saw was about shape language and repeated shapes in character design. And they had a before and after of a certain character. that they had drawn, and it was very evident. I liked how they laid it out with that character design as an example. Whenever somebody can get an idea across in an image rather than writing, makes me so happy. Guess my brain happy. But yeah, looking between the two different characters, one was like a character standing there, normal. But then they took certain shapes in that design and just started repeating them around the design. So it was like, oh, there are chevrons on her skirt, so they added chevrons to the snake around her neck and the necklace that she was wearing. The snake itself had a kind of a way of swooping around her shoulders that they mimicked in the hair design too. Like it added a swoop that was a similar shape, that kind of stuff. And it was kind of fun looking around the sketch and just seeing like, oh, that and that and that, like repeat. So if you're ever feeling like it's like something's disjointed or it just feels a little off, maybe look for those opportunities to repeat something. And it comes back to creative problem solving, basically. Maybe that was the problem. And you solved it, baby! Oh my gosh. Oh, Sandra says, love this, Anna. Thank you so much. Oh, Alessandra also says, OMG, y'all, there's gonna be another snowstorm. Sigh, help. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm hoping that you can, I don't know, maybe be outfitted for it. Maybe. Adam says, speaking of Tuesday, I ordered a pack of red Blackwing 2 special edition pencils. That's amazing. Blackwing Lab pencils, I meant. Oh my gosh. That's so cool. Rynn says, does anyone else forget to breathe when they're super focused? I forget to breathe no matter what I'm doing. It's just stupid body. Oh man. Yusha says, I have a reminder for normal things like breathing. Reminders. Remember to breathe. That's Corinne has those too, and she's like, I keep getting these reminders and I keep ignoring them. Julia says, I need the dial-up modem sound as my alarm clock. It's such a hideous sound. Oh my gosh, no. Make your wake up as peaceful as possible. Why would you do that to yourself? I hate in shows or movies or music or anything that has the alarm clock sound where it's like, oh gosh. Immediately I'm like, turn it off. I need to go lie down. It's the worst sound in the world. And it makes me want to sleep longer, honestly. Like I'll be not tired and then I'll hear that sound and I'll be like, whoa. I think it's at the beginning of a song I really like. Black and Blue by Mike Snow. There's an alarm clock sound, but it fades out pretty quickly, so usually I can deal with it. But if it's like on a playlist, and you're like, Enya or something that's like really peaceful, and then suddenly beep, beep, beep. I hate it. These guys are fast and loose. That's how I like it. I don't know how I feel about the hearts. Luckily, again, with the opacity of this paint, we could literally keep painting over it a million times, or we could just move on to another one, or one of the wonderful things I discovered about this sketchbook. I can't remember where it is. Oh yes, you can literally just paint over a whole page that you don't like with black and start over. How cool. I love it. Alright, let's go back to this guy. Gold and then something in the middle. So thinking we could do like an orangey red something. Maybe it'll just be a cluster of flowers. I know I've done it before, but that doesn't mean it's bad. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Oh, everybody's talking about their temperatures going on. Adam says, oddly, it was 50 degrees in Vermont, but it'll drop down later this week. Kendall says it was 55 yesterday. Dang. Rynn says, this is true. I start to tune out reminders that are set for specific markers. They help in the beginning, but becoming background noise eventually. Absolutely. That's why I think as a society we need to figure out, or at least accept that human nature is to need change. Like, it's not necessarily that, like, you set a reminder or some kind of goal or whatever and then you're just done. It's just like, well, you gotta keep figuring out what exactly it is that works for you today, because what worked yesterday may not work again. At least for me, I know that routine is a fickle thing. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I hate it. And sometimes it just doesn't work. Just doesn't exist at all. And other times, I swear that your body has a way of just like creating its routine, and if you fight against it, it fights against you. Just like waking up at a certain time has always been a struggle for me. And it feels like no matter what, if I'm not like paying attention and actively doing like something to make myself have a sleep schedule, I will rest back into one that I I have, where it's just like, oh yeah, I'll wake up later. Let's do 5-sided. In my mind, these are kind of like crocuses. Kind of. This guy's a little janky. Oh, we can have them collide, it's fine. This guy's gonna be a little bebe. And crocuses are the first, what do you call it? First spring flower? One of the first? Claudia on YouTube says, dial-up modem, definitely an A. I agree. It is ridiculous. It's like, I don't know, traumatizing a bit in memory. Adam says, oh, Anna, try not to get mixed up with the drinks on the table. Somebody saw my story. Yeah, yesterday I was painting like this. Drinking water, painting water, right next to each other. Not ideal. Drink the clear one, friends. And then I thought of this elaborate ruse that I could put you guys through, where I like, I don't know, somehow cleverly on a live stream put my mug of like, I don't know, chai or something right next to the painting water, and then I paint something that makes it the same color as the chai, and then I like off camera swap it out with actual chai in a paint glass with like a clean paintbrush dipped in it, and then like I could take a drink and you guys would be like, no, don't do it, that's the paint water, and then I'd be like, heh, tricked you, it's actually chai. Yeah, I don't think I have the dedication to do that, or honestly the will to prank. Like I like the idea of mischief, but honestly, I don't know, there's something about it that just like rubs me the wrong way, like duping your friends. Maybe I'm just not built for that life. Okay, so I'm trying to think of another color that I want around the edges here. Do I do green again, or do I want to do a new color? Do I introduce a new color here? Another option is I have this beautiful blue colored pencil that I love using on stuff because it shows up super opaquely. And so we could do the fringes all blue and then have like blue touches throughout this. I could add like little dots or like line everything with blue, that kind of thing, which could be fun. Jake Green's in the chat. What's up? How you doing? Happy almost birthday. How exciting. John says, I think you would give yourself away. You don't seem to have a poker face. Well, okay, fine. That's one way to put it. You couldn't do it. Oh, man. Jake says that's so elaborate. Oh, I could get more elaborate. Yeah, I don't have a poker face. You're not wrong. I don't like lying. I can't do it, Captain. Time to bust out the third one, I say. This guy, we've done some experimentation of different sorts in here. By the way, Jake, we are doing carpet designs, I guess is what it's called. I showed them, but I haven't shown you, and I haven't posted to Patreon yet. These carpet designs, or rugs, or whatever you would like to call it, textiles. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad at showing on camera. Anyways, that guy, and oh, I have this salamander. I really want to paint the salamander as well. Somewhere. There we go. Another little guy. But the thing is, okay, so this is why I haven't posted on Patreon yet. Digitizing traditional artwork is difficult. It doesn't give the same feel as the piece a lot of times. I think what I'm going to have to do is learn to photograph it pretty well. And I'm thinking, like, when I show it on this camera, it looks pretty... If I could actually find where it is. There we go. It looks pretty close to what I see in life. Like, this is a good camera, and I think that that is more true than a scan of it, because I scanned it with my scanner, and trust me, guys, it got so artifacty and, like, lost a lot of that charm of traditional stuff. So, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm dealing with. We're just figuring out in our lives what to do. Alright, I'm feeling the ovular one. Let's do a round rug. Wow. Okay. Can't stop, won't stop. Let's see. Adam says, Anna, an old friend posted on Facebook to me that some folks in Portland are destroying some comic shops there? What the heck? Why would they destroy comic shops? Yeah, there's some stuff going on in Portland. It's been a bit of a downer. Jake says, yeah, use your cam. John says you could work for Hallmark. Oh, that's nice. Should I put little sayings in the cards like, omnivore, boar, deer mouse? John says, I would use a tripod and say some kind of phone with a 108 megapixel camera set still or static and have a platform to lay art on to run the camera from the PC. Yeah. I have, Samsung, John says. I just got a new phone with a much better camera, which I'm very happy about. I still think that my Sony camera would be much better at it, so I think that I'll use this one, but it's basically the same idea that you're saying exactly. Like, you have a good photo lighting. I think lighting is honestly one of the most important parts, and then having it oriented so that you see it straight on, like that the paper is perpendicular or parallel to the camera is super important. Adam's like, yeah, I was like, what the heck? Well, yeah, let me talk just briefly about what's going on in Portland lately. So we had, unfortunately, a mass shooting. And it was it's a content warning. There's shooting. But there was a protest in honor of, oh my gosh, Amir Locke, who is just a victim of police violence, systemic violence. And so in Portland, there was a peaceful protest that was being held. It hadn't even started yet, and I've been following this pretty closely as much as I can through our news outlets and local Portland things. Now, a lot of it has been very, like, it's a smattering of information. It's not all, like, super, nailed down. I don't think anybody really has like a really strong hold on everything that happened because it was a chaotic scene. But so this protest was about to happen in downtown, or not downtown Portland, it was east side, and it was around a residential area, and there were some crossing guard kind of people who are there to keep the protesters and everybody safe, and they're called corkers. And so there were these, this is from an interview with one of the people who got shot. This is where the information's coming from. She said that 4 of the women were corkers, and they were just directing people. Somebody came out of their house, and within 90 seconds went from being upset about protesters being near their home to shooting. And I believe 4 people were shot, and one of them has passed away. And yeah, so there's a lot of fallout from that. There was a police conference that was overrun with more protesters, and so they didn't do they canceled the police announcement, whatever you call that. And it's been ongoing. Yeah, so it's definitely not like one of the things is that they haven't charged the shooter with anything. The other part is, and this is again like really scattered in facts and stuff, it's that the shooter was also sent to the hospital afterward. Now, my assumption of that is that the protesters or people in the vicinity would say, hey, there's someone with a gun. Let's not have that happen. You know, like there's somebody shooting people. Anyways, sorry, this is a lot of like downer information, but that's basically what I've gathered about what's going on in Portland. And it's unfortunate, obviously. It's not just unfortunate, it's atrocious. It's horrible. It shouldn't be happening. But honestly, there is a lot of lack of information. There's not a clear everything, you know, like everything isn't clear. It's actually very ambiguous, and I could assume some things about what's going on here, but I don't want to do that without more information, and I definitely don't want to say stuff to you guys that is untrue. So I'm trying to like very carefully pick my words to say like factually this is what's come out. And even from there, I mean, reading different like outlets of information, you hope that journalism is that barrier to misinformation, but it isn't always. So as with everything, try to find your best sources of information and fact check as much as possible. Yeah, you guys are just saying it's horrible. It really is. And Kendall says, so sorry to hear that, Anna. Stay safe. Yeah, that's one of the most unfortunate things about the time and place and systems that we live in is I wish everybody could stay safe. I really wish everybody could. And to a certain extent, you know, driving in a car, it's risky for your life and all that stuff. This level of unsafety is unnecessary. We don't need to feel like we could get shot. That's just person on person kind of stuff that is, it's beyond unnecessary. It shouldn't be happening. But yeah, that's what I got to say about that. I really hope that everybody who was affected by this personally feels like, I don't know, better. Heals from their wounds, which are more than just physical. And I hope that the people responsible for injury and life loss are very, very much held responsible. Yeah. Okay, oval rug. How do we go from that to drawing again? Golly. I am thankful for the opportunity to bring it up and talk about it, because I do think it is important to be up on our, you know, what's happening in the world, and especially very close to me. Yeah, it's not something that's happening in a vacuum. This is definitely built up from many different things. And again, I've heard things about the shooter that I don't know if they're completely true. But from anecdotal just takes, there was some complaints by this person to protests, and also the growing homeless population that is happening in Portland, which is a whole nother thing. I think they're very much, everything's related because this is our society. But the homeless population in Portland has exponentially grown throughout the pandemic, and it's very noticeable whenever we go through the town now. Like, we live on the outskirts, so going through the main part of the city is just kind of crazy to be like, whoa. And it's just sad. It's just sad to know that that's what people's lives are right now, you know? That's oof. Anyway, sorry, I keep going down the rabbit hole. It's really hard to not do that. There's a lot going on all the time, so I don't know how to shift from that. Give me a discussion topic that's less dark. Again, I hope that you are all well, and that you, I don't know, can help in a situation like that. Like, we need helpers for sure. I guess the biggest thing is the systems that we have in place are failing individuals on many, many levels. So remember to vote. Remember to stay active and aware. Seek out good information. Not good information. Information is neither good nor bad. It is truth, spin, falsehood, whatever you want to call it. We need to, especially if we're taking action on something, triple, quadruple, septuple check that it is for sure the right information. And it's exhausting as all hell, but it's what we need to do. Okay, I'm just gonna throw out some random shapes. Anthony Jackson says, state voting 2022. I know. Everybody in your local elections very, very, very much pay attention. Please, please, please. Adam says, yeah, it's sad because my friend lives there now and he's seen some things like that lately. I have to step out, but now I'm back, so catching up on chat. I hope everyone is okay. Yeah, this is Joe coming back. Sorry, Joe, if you came back in the middle of that. It's a little intense to just be like, in now. But yeah, that is the world we live in. And Adam, I'm sorry that your friends had to experience this stuff. It's very weird feeling like, again, we're on the outskirts, so it's not as directly impactful, but if you were to live in the city, I think it would be unavoidable on a daily basis how much is going on all the time. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, I hope that your friend at least, I don't know, gets to experience. There's so much good stuff about Portland. And honestly, it's not at all that Portland has changed as a city. The homeless crisis, or homelessness, whatever you would call it, the unhoused crisis. I want to be as sensitive as possible because, like, I don't know, I have nothing but empathy for the people who are going through this. It is something that feels like it could happen at any time to anyone, and of course with the pandemic it did. It happened to a lot of people all at once, and I wish so badly that we had some kind of fix immediately. And honestly, there are fixes. There are a lot of fixes, but the systems that we are a part of right now, as it stands, are not not conducive to solving poverty in any way. It's actually very much letting it thrive, and that's the way the system is built. Y'all, the secret's out. It's built for this. Anyways, that's enough of me ranting. John says, the sad part is people don't see where they're wrong and want to point fingers now, realizing that three fingers are pointing back at them. Oh man. Wait, is that the way? I point like this. You children. So yeah, I guess 3. Oh, Joe says, thank you, Anna, for using your voice and platform to bring awareness. Absolutely. I hope that I didn't just like bum y'all out. It's hard to talk about, probably harder to listen to, because I also am not easy to listen to all the time. John says, sorry, tired, spelling sucks right now. It's all good. Jake says, accountability is important and some fingers are pointed because of specific and documented evidence. There are solutions and there are things worth standing up for. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. We gotta stand up for what's right all the time. And that's, again, exhausting. But if we all do it, we can give each other a break. You know, it's like standing guard at night in a D&D game or something. Like, everybody takes a turn, right? As long as we all do our part, we should be able to do it. And I'm not saying that that's like, it's all up to individuals. That's exactly what I'm saying. The opposite of, actually. It's up to the individuals as much as we can, but the systems are in place against a lot of us. And so if we can change those systems, which luckily we are still in a democratic society in the US, we can do something good here. And that's why talking about it is really important. Because if people, a lot of people don't even think about it. They might not be up on the newest thing. They might not be active in their community or whatever. Which, hey, if you're less active than somebody else, that doesn't mean that you're inactive. I just want, like, people to feel like it's accessible to say something, to do something. It's not crazy to be like, oh, I need to vote. And we should definitely still be grateful that there are things going on worldwide right now that are also very concerning. It's so funny because I came into this stream being like, man, it's a little overwhelming right now. And it's kind of relieving to talk about it with people. So I'm grateful that y'all are listening and talking back and everything, because it's nice to have a community that you can communicate with about things that are hard. And I'm not trying to sit here saying I have all the answers for everything, but I've seen some answers that I agree with, and that's what I'm spreading. John says, I agree, Jake, and the bad part is deciding on societal vote and morals as to what is right, and what's right for one is not right for all and can't make everyone happy. Agreed. Joe says, listening with both my ears. You're amazing, Joe. You're always listening with both your ears. So good. Yeah, I think that what was it that John said that made me think of something? Yeah, what's one for right for one might not be right for all. I think that there are some common sense changes that would be right for a vast majority. I'm not telling anybody how to vote, y'all, just to be straight with you. But I do think that there are some things in our world, in our society, in the US, that 99% of people can agree on. And it's often put, or I should say, the way that it is projected onto the populace is that, like, you have to take one side or another. It's not always like that. And some of these fractures are manifested rather than actually being there. I think we could agree on a lot more than we actually, what we think we can. But that also is probably an optimist side of me. Can't we all just get along? But honestly, the pandemic, of all the times that I've been alive, at least, I've never seen as clearly as during the pandemic what changes really need to be made. And I think that should be a gift that we're given to prepare for the next one, to prepare for living now onward the rest of our lives. I want it to get better. I don't know about you, but I think that's not as far off as a lot of people would want you to think. And then in some ways it is really far off. I admit it, but you know. Oh, John says, cool. Glad I joined your stream. You got a good head on your shoulders. Oh, thank you. Ugh, it's heavy, but it's there. Jake says, agreed, Anna. Thank you for talking about this. Making everyone happy will always be impossible, but making things better is not. Let's aim for better. Let's please, please, please aim for better. Dear Lord. And honestly, every single time I talk about this with like James or Anthony or anybody who I feel safe talking about this with, which again, I'm not getting as like into it as I usually do on my private time, because like I don't want to be out here on the internet being like, you should do this, this is crazy, that's blah blah, you know, like I don't want to tell you guys what to do. The way that what was I thinking? I totally just lost my train of thought. Oh, when I'm talking with Anthony and James, I almost always come back to the central idea of, if people were paid more equally, that would solve so many problems. So many problems. If there was just more financial equality amongst people, oh, so many things would get better. So many things would get better. Anyways, that's just a thing that I've noticed, because we talk about this a lot. This is not like a new kind of subject matter. At least the systemic problems aren't. The Portland events are definitely new. That's not something that happens all the time, and it should not. It is atrocious to see that kind of violence, and I do think it is bred out of a lot of systemic problems. But that is just my take on it. Yeah, thanks for listening. No, I've started and ended this conversation like 10 times, but really, thank you for listening. And thank you all for being part of a community that talks about this, because I think that we could very easily just avoid topics that are hard to talk about, and we could very easily try to stay in the art bubble. For the most part, we do. And I love doing that. I love living in art because it does, for a lot of things, feel better. It just makes life better in a lot of ways. It's not always easy, but it's definitely nowhere near what we experience outside of art. You know what I mean? And so when, again, I'm losing my train of thought during the sentence I was speaking. Oh, I don't know. Art's hard, but it makes things better. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Okay, so when we try to avoid those kind of topics, or like talking about what's going on in our day and age, we're ignoring so much of what does make art powerful, which is we have to exist as humans first. We have to be people. We have to experience the world. We have to have our voices and our outlooks before we make art, because it's gonna come out no matter what. Your point of view is always shown, because art is communication. And so it's like saying something, well, why did you say that? Because I, was brought up in this way and this way and that, this is my history and this is my family and this is my place of origin and all that stuff. That makes you who you are, and your outlook is always going to reflect that. There's no way to be a completely objective alien. And so embrace that. Embrace who you are. Oh my gosh, Ryan says this isn't Photoshop. What the heck? Where are we? I thought this was Photoshop. Oh, Adobe Live. When did that happen? Hello, Adobe Live. Hi. Sorry, I was in the middle of like a really, heavy conversation. So, hi, I'm Anna Daviscourt. I'm a children's book illustrator, and I am drawing and painting today. We painted this carpet textile pattern, whatever you would call it, with gouache, and then now I am going over it with colored pencil. Sometimes I go back and forth, so we might paint on it still. Who knows? Ryan Selvey is a fantastic streamer here on the platform, I should say. Adam says, we getting famous. Oh, heck yeah. And you should check out his streams, because right before this, I saw your stream, Ryan. I was lurking. You were making a spoiler alert banner around your stream, which is so clever because then people can see it like if they want to be spoiler free, they can mute you and then see when you take it down and be back on the stream. That is just brilliant. Kendall says yes to fun. Oh, Joe says, oh, I have some good news. If we want something fun, please, Joe, I am begging you for fun. Ryan says, yes, yes, yes. That's the thought. Kendall's going away for snacks. Okay, okay. And Jake says, tune in to Channel 5 to catch Ryan Selby's Variety Hour. I mean, come on. Ryan Selby is a variety hour. By the way, if you've never, this is a random plug, but if you've never caught Ryan Selby's holiday streams, you definitely should. Going all the way back to the beginning one, I've always been impressed and just loved them. Now I'm part of them usually, but that aside, even before, as a viewer, top-notch entertainment. Joe says, I watched The Princess Bride for the first time last night. The first time? Oh my gosh, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father, prepare to die. That is so fun. Oh, and you loved it. Oh, Tara hasn't seen it. Okay, stop everything. Tara needs to see it. Oh my gosh. Adam Glazer says, speaking of that, I have a little figure of Inigo and a booklet. That is so cool. John Nix asks, did you cry? Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. That is, I think I've talked about this before. Bliss says, coming out of lurking to gasp publicly. Gotta see The Princess Bride. Oh, Jake says, I'm happy for you, Joe. Ooh, it's a bust of Inigo Montoya. Ooh, that is awesome. John says, watch them all with the wife. Oh, heck yeah. Jake says, Tara, we should have a watch party. Oh my gosh. Watch party for Princess Bride? Okay, so I think I've talked about this on the stream, but let me go into it again. I think that one of the best storytelling methods, or at least one of my favorites in movies, is the story within a story, and that is The Princess Bride. So having some kind of initial conceit for the story to be told within. So Tara, you gotta go watch that movie. I want to quote things with you. Come on, watch it right now. It's so fun. Okay, so you guys can see some of the close-up texture that I've been adding. So along the edges, I did orange, red, and blue. So we have a multicolored tapestry kind of feel, like it just came off the loom. I'm thinking for the background of the yellow, I might want to do little dashes of orange. How does that show up? I might try red. Let's see here. Oh yeah. I think red is the dealio. So I don't necessarily need them everywhere, but I want them on some areas. Come on. You can do it. I believe in you. Do you see the dashes? They're very subtle, but they're right. Oh gosh. Right there. Beep, 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 beep. And with the dashes, I just go in like one singular direction, which is kind of what weaving is like if you've ever woven. Joe says, Annie, you're making magic right now. You are! No, you! Oh, man. I've been having so much fun. John says, stomp the yard. I don't remember that movie at all, but maybe. Maybe it's got a story within a story. Tara says, let's do it! And it'll be Joe's second time watching. Oh my gosh, seriously. I would watch it for the, like, probably 20th time. I think, no, it's probably closer to 30. I watched that so much as a kid. It was my favorite. And we have it on our Blu-ray case right now. Doom, 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 doom. Oh, just hearing that song makes me like, oh, nostalgia. Oh, you're so good to me. I love nostalgia. Okay, so ding, 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 ding. Gotta make sound effects when you're doing little marks, of course. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. We're gonna need something, a little something. Busting out my plethora of nonsense. We got pens, we got paintbrushes, we got pencils. My mom gave me this little ceramic jar. It's beautiful. Anyways, enough bragging about my mother to you. Let's see here. I think this is black. I want like a brown or a purple. Ah, Tuscan red. You hit the spot. I just want to add some detail to these flowers of some kind. There we go. Let's see. Let's do a gradient outward, and then we can do a white spot in the middle. Ooh, yeah, let's use the white ink. So, once upon a time, I tried something. I'll tell you all about it in 1 second. Okay, so, sorry, my brain got lost in it for a second. So we tried white gouache and white ink to see what would work better. Turns out white ink, much more opaque than white gouache, so that's what we're going to use now. Now I need that Tuscan red. Ooh, but I do love... Okay, so I'm doing red pencil over most of the petal. I'll do like a little red in this baby one, just to boost the color a little bit, and then we're going to kind of create a gradient between the paint color, the red pencil, and the Tuscan red pencil. So we just have it brush up from the bottom. Brush that bottom. Da, 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 da. This is what you hear every day on the stream. Duh. Okay. There are new improved flowers. I feel like maybe we need another one right here. Let's dip in. I think I just used a bit of this like orange red. Do 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 do. Dun, dun, true love story. Man, I love that movie. Thank you for bringing it up, Joe. I'm so proud of you for watching it. It's such a good movie. Okay. Let's see. Oh, John's talking about how he's got a hue on. Oh, yeah. I think that's how you say it. I'm not sure. I assume it's about lawns and stepping aggressively on them. I don't remember what that was in reference to, but something. Oh, man. Oh, Adam says, nice texture. Thank you. John says, yes. And Lucy says, love it. Hello, Lucy. Welcome to the stream. We just added a flower. What was the other thing I wanted to do? Oh, white ink. I need to get my little baby pencil, paintbrush. All right, so this guy, this is the white calligraphy ink that we like to use. And the itty bittiest little liner pencil that I have. Do you see? He's not like teeny tiny, but he does the job real well, gotta say. So shaky, shaky, eggs and bakey. And then I think what I'm gonna do is center of flowers white, but then also, yeah, I'm gonna make some like little dabs of white berries along this wreath of Aretha Franklin. Yes. That's what we're gonna do. But I have to remember to avoid the still wet flower. So this guy's just gonna dot, dot, dotty dot, 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 dot. I don't care if this makes sense, like, actually with the petals and such. It's just for looks. Dot. So cute. Oh, I love it. Do you guys see that? I want to give you a close-up. I love sometimes when there's like a little texture to the ink on the paper, like it has a little raisedness. It's like a 3D art piece. So cool. Alright, then we're going to go in and do a little more dots. I'm going to say dot every single time. Dot. Dot, dot, dot. Dot. It's really easy to dot when there's like a blob of ink on the end. Maybe that's too blobby. Don't want it to be like crazy. This is one of my favorite things when I paint the envelopes for Patreon, to just like put dots everywhere. Not like polka dots, but like glowy dots, like fairies just touched this. Anthony Jackson's heading out. See ya! Have a great day. Oh, Jake says so great, Anna. Thank you so much. Excuse me. Well, that was a hiccup. Not excuse me. Rynn's enjoying the sound effects. They're all for you, Rynn. I make these guys just slightly bigger. Yeah. Dot. 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 Big boys. Have you guys seen those bushes that have white berries in winter? They look like little mini marshmallows. I remember learning the name of it a long time ago, and I hath forgotten. Truly. I lie to you not. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Yeah, do you see my vision? Little berries. Little berries all alone, running through the forest. I think there's something about like finishing these guys, these like rug pattern, whatever you call it, that is deeply therapeutic. Like as you're making them, it feels like, yay, fun. I could see where this is going. But then once you finish it, it's like, I don't want it to stop. It's so fun. So I would highly recommend, if you feel like it, try out one of these guys. And it's also fun to take pictures at different times throughout the process so that you can kind of remember where you started. And then if you keep on adding, there's you lose nothing. You're just basically like, you keep adding and you keep adding. And then if you liked it earlier in the process, that's something you learned for the next one. And then the next time you just stop like a step or two earlier. As I talk to myself about how many berries I'm adding. Is it too many berries? Who knows? Only me once I do too many. Beep. I think that's good. Okay. If you can't see it, I want you to see it. Look at that guy! The magic! Magic's in the air. It's all around you. Oh, everybody's so nice. I'm just going to keep painting until I feel like it. Oh, that's awesome. Joe says, new passion unlocked. Draw this in your style rug. Please do. If you want to see, like, or like have a layout for the rug already done, use this layout. Go forth. Enjoy. Adam says, all right, folks, I'm about to log off and catch up on stuff. Good to see you. Anna, this looks great. Adam, thank you so much for hanging out. It's been a pleasure, a joy. And I just appreciate your presence. I hope your friend in Portland has a good old time. I say after heavy subjects. But yeah. Is there anything else I want to add to that one? I could keep doing like little dashes and stuff, but I feel like I could do that at any time. So I want to just see if I want to do anything before I say adios to you guys. I might... I like this burnt sienna, or Tuscan red, sorry, not burnt sienna. So I'm thinking of using it, let's see, maybe I'll do just the little marks. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'll show it to you in a second. So I think in this bottom right hand corner, you can see the little marks right there. I think doing that all over the side areas, all this red area, is going to give it a little bit more contrast, so it's going to be even darker. And then it'll be a nice little pop. Little pop pop. Yeah. And then every once in a while with these, like all these marks, I throw in like a blue or something like that. If this was like a lighter thing, then I could do red or orange and it would show up nicely. But I think if I do red or orange on this vibrant red, then it's just going to get lost. So there. Come on. You can see the little bits of blue in there, right? Yeah. Ooh, what? Oh. All right, so that's my plan for this guy. This one's just still a sketch, so I could paint that at any time. This one I have mixed feelings about. I kind of want to just Prussian blue darken all of it and then have like lighter bits, possibly. Maybe, ooh, I think this is what I will do. Paint this pink area in with the dark Prussian blue and then come in with like a lighter color on top and see what I want to do. I think that actually this pencil might be really lovely on top of the Prussian blue. Let's just do a little sample area. Yeah, I think that would show up really nicely. So this is on top of the dark Prussian blue. You can see how vibrant light blue that is, or like a mid-tone blue. So I'm thinking I might keep the edge because I like that and the tassels. But then this whole inner area, I'm going to do dark Prussian blue, and then on the center, we'll see. I'm not sure about that one. But once I do it, I will post it to the Discord. I'm going to post these guys as well. I haven't posted them, again, to Patreon yet. So I need to do like a full-on process post of that, because I did take pictures along the way. And I think I just have to admit to myself that I'm not going to get a good scan of it and take some good pictures. But I'm really happy with this guy. I think this turned out super, super cute. And all those little fringe colors, oh, they look lovely in person. I'm happy with it. Oh wait, we need to do one more little dab of white on our flower that's now dry. Oh wait, now that our flower's dry, there is a process, Anna. He's for sure dry. Okay, so Tuscan red on the inside. Beep, 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 beep. Okay. Very small difference. I'm sure on camera it looks like nothing. However, in person, it's very nice. And then we just have a little beep. All right, now it is almost complete, and I will do more little tick marks off camera. That being said, thank you so much for joining us. Joe says they seem so opaque. Love it. Ugh, they're really fun. Yeah. Again, the most opaque thing is this white ink. I would highly recommend if you guys want just a pure white on anything. It's so lovely. I use it to paint my Patreon envelopes every month, so I'm really enjoying it. But yeah. Anyways, anywho's it's what's it's galore. Thank you so much for joining me. This has been a lovely respite from the rest of my work. I will hopefully be back on Thursday if you want updates on every single stream that we do, the time, and whether it's happening or not, most up to date. It's going to be on the Discord. Thank you everybody who joined. You guys are awesome. I know that this one had a little bit of a different tone at certain parts, so I appreciate you hanging around and talking. It made me feel better. I hope that if you feel any stress from any of this stuff, just let it go in and let it go out. You know, you can feel that this is the world we live in, but also not take it home with you, if you know what I mean. Like, don't carry that baggage. It's not for you. We are going to, yes, someday have Anthony back. It's very exciting. I know you guys miss him. I miss him too. Go check out Ryan's stream. He just streamed right before this, so go catch the replay. And until next time, get vaccinated, get boosted, wear a mask, wash your hands, be kind to yourself and to others, and remember that you are loved. We will see you here very soon. Have a good night. And now begins the after party. I'm just going to talk about how much I love The Princess Bride. It is such a great movie. Tara, you gotta go watch it. Not only does it have like the medieval fantasy kind of vibe to it, but it's also just really great storytelling in terms of like I said, the narrative quality of story within a story, but then also the story itself feels very not only aware of all the tropes going into it, but also like, I don't know, it always makes me think of like, oh, this is a Mel Brooks movie, right? No, it's actually Rob Reiner, I believe. But it smacks of that, where it's like an aware kind of humor, but in a way that's cool. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like it's just the cool kid, writing wise. It really is. It knows what it is. It's got such a strong presence. John says, yeah, they're good movies, but Letters to Juliet is better. What? Are you saying better than Princess Bride? The heck? Letters to Juliet, I have not even heard of. I need to go look that up. Kendall says, The Princess Bride is so many quotes. It really is. It's a quote machine, and maybe that's one of the things that I love about it so much is I watched so many things with my family growing up, and we would just quote, 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 quote. Anthony knows this very well. Like, he walked in as a friend and had to learn 15 million quotes just to, like, have a conversation. So, I don't think we introduced him to The Princess Bride, but I introduced him to several movies, like, It's a Wonderful Life? Is that the one? You know, Jimmy Stewart being like, my lips bleeding, Bert, or like, Merry Christmas in jail. You know, they're just great quotes. And also, he's watching all of Seinfeld right now, which again, that is the history of my family quoting. Like, I mean, there's so much to quote. It's so good. And he loves Elaine. I'm just so glad. Anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Have a great day. And again, replay Landers. I love you too. Bye.